So if you're a homeowner or you're thinking about purchasing a home in the near future, you can take advantage of two big statistics right now. One is that experts are predicting almost a 5% appreciation by April of 2024. And spoiler alert, I think here in Sanford, in our local market, and in a lot of markets near us, that number is going to be low. We could be even closer to 10%. And number two, home equity values are at all-time highs right now, or near all-time highs. The average homeowner in the United States has almost $180,000 of home equity. So I want to show you 3 ways that you can use these two statistics and that equity in your home to capitalize on major opportunities in the real estate market. So for the better part of the last 3 years, the real estate market has been on fire. And the numbers don't lie. Experts are still predicting almost a 5% increase in property values by April 2024. And with the amount of jobs coming to our area, the amount of population influx into Central North Carolina, the amount of explosive growth that we're seeing in our immediate markets, I think that 4.8% national average is going to be low when we talk about what appreciation does here locally. I think that 10% is not out of the realm of possibilities, and I think that we'll be pretty close to that number this time next year. That means if you bought a $350,000 house, you're gonna gain $35,000 in equity by this time next year. That is a tremendous opportunity at really adding some money and some value to your net worth. And not only are home values expected to continue to appreciate, but they've been appreciating for the past 3 years. Home equity values are at all-time highs, over $9 trillion in nationwide home equity right now, and the average homeowner has almost $180,000 of equity. Chances are, if you've owned a home for more than a couple of years right now, then you're sitting on significant equity, and you can tap into that equity a number of ways to really make some solid decisions and make some big moves in terms of investing in real estate or just putting yourself in a position to take advantage of the appreciation that's expected over the next year and really over the next 5 to 10 years. So let's talk about 3 ways that you can capitalize on this opportunity. First one's obvious. If you're looking to upsize, sell a smaller home and move into a bigger one, downsize, maybe sell a larger home and move into one with lower maintenance and lower costs, or you're just looking to relocate, you can take advantage of the equity in your house by selling that home, cashing in on that equity, and then purchasing another home where you've got the benefit of purchasing a home in a time when values are still expected to appreciate. So you can tap into that equity and then buy an asset that's going to go up in value over the next year, 5 years, and 10 years. Now, sometimes that can be a little bit tricky in terms of, do I buy first or do I sell first or do I try to do it at the same time? And we can help you navigate that. There are some loan programs out there where you don't have to qualify for both loans at the same time, and you can buy first and then sell within 90 days. We can also help you time that transition, and right now it's a great time if you're considering new construction to go under contract on a home that is going to be completed, and then we can backwards plan the sale timeline of your current home to line up perfectly where you can buy and sell at the same time. Regardless of which way you decide to do it, we can help walk you through that process. Number 2 is investing in real estate. If you've ever thought about investing in real estate, there is a tremendous opportunity in front of you right now if you're sitting on equity in your house. You could tap into that equity through a cash out refi or a home equity line of credit, and you could use that equity and those funds as a down payment on another property. That could be a long-term rental, something that you purchase and put a tenant in for a year, and you're gonna benefit in a bunch of different ways. You're gonna have cash flow, you're gonna have principal pay down, that they're paying down that mortgage payment for you every month. You're gonna have appreciation, probably close to 10% in our local market. Maybe more than that if you're looking in other markets, and you're going to have depreciation on your taxes, where you're going to be able to depreciate major components in that home to reduce your taxable income on the money you earn from other sources. Those same things are going to apply to short-term rentals. If you thought about purchasing a property to list it on Airbnb or VRBO or similar platforms to that, then this is still a tremendous opportunity for you to purchase that, get the cash flow, appreciation, depreciation, principal pay down on an asset that is very popular right now. And if you're considering commercial, we can't possibly have a better whirlwind of things happening right now in Sanford to be looking at the commercial real estate space. If you're looking at investing in commercial, what typically happens in small towns is they build a whole bunch of houses because we're expecting population to grow. We're seeing that happen right now before our very eyes. There are over 10,000 building permits that have been approved within the last 2 years here in Lee County alone, and that doesn't even count the surrounding areas. On top of that, right, we're starting to see some commercial development, but a lot of the big commercial developers out there, they want to see the population and the income here before they will commit to big commercial projects. That means they want the houses to be built, they want them to be occupied, and that presents an opportunity where if you can purchase some commercial property now, maybe lease it out to tenants, that property value is going to go up when that demand increases because our population has gone up by such a large amount. We can help you evaluate which type of investment property is right for you if you like to go down that route and add real estate investing into your portfolio. The third way you can tap into the equity is to buy a second home. Maybe you don't want to be a landlord, you don't want to rent it out, but you still want to take advantage of the fact that houses are going to appreciate over the next year, 5, 10 years in our market, or maybe in other markets. You could tap into the equity on your home using one of those two options of a cash out refinance or a home equity line of credit. And you can use those available funds as a down payment on a second home. Maybe buy the beach house that you've always wanted or the mountain house that you've always wanted and rent it out to some friends and family, or share that with some of your friends and family. And you're not going to benefit from the cash flow and those sort of things like you would in an investment property, but you're still going to hold an asset that's going to appreciate in value. So if you buy a $500,000 beach house and values go up 10%, you added $50,000 in equity, and that's no small sum. So me and Chelsea, we go down to Florida, Santa Rosa Beach, Florida each year, and we're kicking ourselves in the butt for not doing this 3 years ago when we first started going, where we looked at the value of the house we were renting. It was $800,000. Somebody had just purchased it for $800,000. We went again last month, earlier this month actually, and that same house was just sold for $2.4 million. So if you do some research on high appreciation areas and areas that are really, really booming and expecting big growth, you could purchase a second home, even if you don't lease it or rent it out, and make huge gains in equity, in appreciation. And you can use the available equity in your house to make those purchases now. So if any of this stuff intrigues you, the first thing you really need to know is what kind of equity do you have in your home and what are your options for accessing it? And what we can offer you is a professional equity assessment report, PAIR for short. And instead of just a CMA that tells you the value of your home, we're going to go over the market value of your home and also what you would net in terms of proceeds if you were to sell it, or what type of equity you have to tap into if you don't want to sell it and you just want to access some of that equity that you're sitting on. We can do that report for you. There's going to be a link below in the comments, and on whatever platform you're watching on, there will be a link that you can click to request a professional equity assessment report from us. We'd be glad to give that to you free of charge. And so to recap, right, equity is at an all-time high. Appreciation is expected at near 5% nationwide. I think closer to 10% in our local market. You can take advantage of it in any of these three ways and others. And if you want more information, send us drop a comment below, send us a DM, or visit our website.